Dear students, great day. Let us start our session with History, Unit 1, New Religious Ideas and Movements. In this session, we are going to learn about devotional movement of Alvas and Nayanmas, Advaita philosophy of Adi Sankara and Visistadvaita of Ramanuja, Bhakti cult in northern India, interaction between Hinduism and Islam leading to the birth of new cults, notably Sufism, teachings of Kabir and Guru Nanak, impact of Bhakti movement. Introduction. Medieval India saw an extraordinary production of devotional poetry which were not restricted to one particular religion but inspired by different religious movements. The exponents of these movements held the view that total devotion, bhakti to God, could save man from the pitfalls of life and earn him salvation. It was also believed that one does not have to go to temples or perform rituals, for God is omnipresent and resides inside every human. The Bhagavad Gita proposed that the path of Bhakti Marga, the path of Bhakti, is superior to the two other religious approaches, namely the path of knowledge, Jnana, and the path of rituals and good works, Karma, providing inspiration to the exponents of Bhakti cult. Bhakti movement, the beginnings. The Bhakti movement or the resurgence of devotional practices started in Tamil Nadu around 7th century AD. It included reciting the name of the god or goddess, singing hymns in their praise, wearing religious marks or carrying identity emblems, and undertaking pilgrimage to holy places associated with the god. Sufis believed that realization of God can be achieved only through passionate devotion to God and intense meditation. Sufis were of the view that this type of meditation would enable the devotee to understand the true nature of God. They argued that doing so would liberate the devotee from all worldly bonds and help them become one with God. Several mystical religious movements in both Hinduism and Islam had no hesitation to freely include elements of different faiths in their teachings. There is only one God, though Hindus and Muslims call him by different names, stated Haridas. Devotional movement in Tamilagam, Alvas and Nayanmas. The Alvas, the Vaisnavite Bhakti sages and the originators of Bhakti cult, and the Nayanmas, the worshippers of Shiva or the Saivatis, composed devotional hymns in Tamil language dedicated to their respective gods. Shiva Bhakti is associated with Shiva's expression on earth. Poems to Shiva and Vishnu, particularly to Krishna, were composed in Tamil and other South Indian languages such as Kannada and Telugu. These poets criticized caste-based social status and advocated gender equality in order to make it good to stand the onslaught of Buddhism or Jainism. Vishnu Bhakti or Vaishnavism is based on Vishnu's avatars, particularly Krishna and Rama. The 12 Alvas are chiefly known for their immortal hymns. Two Alvas stand out distinctly for their contribution to the promotion of the Bhakti movement. Nammalvar's fame lies in his 1102 stanza Thiruvaimoli. Nadamuni collected the 4000 poems of Nammalvar in the form of Divya Prabandham. Andal. The only female Alvar is another. Periyalvar, who was earlier known as Vishnu Sittar, made lot of songs on Krishna, putting himself in the place of Mother Yashoda. Periyalvar is said to have found Andal as a baby in the Tulasi garden at Srivilliputtur temple and adopted her. She grew up in the temple town of Srivilliputtur and became known as Andal, she who ruled. The Tirupavai and the Nachiyar Tirumoli are her celebrated books. Her poems expressing her love for Ranganatha, the incarnation of Vishnu worshipped at a temple at Srirangam, are used in Vaishnava wedding ceremonies in Tamil Nadu. 12 Alvas. 3 Mudal Alvas, Poigai Alvar, Boodathalvar and Peyyalvar. Other Alvas. Tirumalisai Alvar, Periyalvar, Tondar Adi Podi Alvar, Tirumangai Alvar, Tirupan Alvar, Kulashekara Alvar, Nammalvar, Madarakavi Alvar and Andal. 63 Nayanmas. There are 63 legendary Nayanmas. Among them, Jnanasambandar, Appar and Sundarar are worshipped as saints through their images in South Indian temples. Nambiyandar Nambi is said to have compiled the song of all the 9 that forms the basis of Tirumurai. It consists of 12 books and 11 of them were assembled by Nambi. The 12th book is Sekila's Periya Puranam. Adi Shankara. Adi Shankara or Shankaracharya preached the Advaita philosophy. The essence of this philosophy is that the soul Atma unites with the universal soul Brahma through the attainment of knowledge. He set up Madas, centers of learning and worship at Badrinath, Puri, Dwarka. These places have become prominent pilgrim centers today. Shankara's sky-high aim to restore the orthodox Vedic tradition without paying attention to the Bhakti movement of his time. His masterpiece is the commentary on the Brahma Sutra, which is the fundamental text of the Vedanta school. His commentaries on the principal Upanishad are also considered equally important. Ramanuja. Ramanuja, a 11th century Vaishnava saint, was the most powerful thinker of Vaishnavism. His philosophy, known as Vishishtadvaita, proclaims that the soul retains its identity even after uniting with Brahma. After a long pilgrimage, Ramanuja settled in Srirangam. Ramanuja articulated ideas of social equality and criticized caste-based restrictions on entering the temples. He established centers to spread his doctrine of devotion, Sri Vaishnavism, to God Vishnu and his consort Lakshmi. In the 16th and 17th centuries, Vaishnavism spread across India. The Vadagalai Vaishnavism originally flourished around Kanjipuram, which was a popular center for Sanskrit learning. Tenkalai Vaishnavism centered on Srirangam. Vadagalai sect focused on Vedic literature, which is written in Sanskrit. The Tenkalai sect stressed the importance of Divya Prabandhams written by the 12 Alvas in Tamil. Bhakti movement in North India. While dealing with the religious movements of the 14th and 15th centuries in northern India, one has to keep in mind the two very different attitudes which Hindu religious leaders had towards Islam. One group accepted what was best in Islam, the other adapted a few elements in order to prevent conversion to Islam. Both reacted to Islam, but one was likable while the other was aggressive. Kabir and Guru Nanak and other founders of new sects are included in the first group, while the movement in Bengal associated with Chaitanya Deva or Chaitanya Mahaprabhu belongs to the later tendency. Exponents of Bhakti movement. It was a Ramananda who spread the Bhakti ideology in northern India, where it became a mass movement. Vallabhacharya, a Telugu philosopher, built a temple for Lord Krishna on the Govardhan hills near Madura. Sardas, a blind poet and musician who associated with this temple as well as that of Agra. His famous collection of poetry is called Sarsaghar. Mirabai, wife of the crown prince of Mewar, was an ardent devotee of Lord Krishna. She was a disciple of Ravidas. Mirabai gained popularity through her bhajans. Chaitanya Deva popularized Krishna worship through songs and dancing that had a profound effect on Vaishnavism in Bengal. In the 16th century, in Tulasidas' Hindi retelling of the story of Rama in the Ramcharitmanas, the sentiment of friendship and loyalty is stressed. Tukaram, a 17th century saint poet of Maharashtra, is known for his spiritual songs devoted to Vidopa, an avatar of Krishna. There is a Vidopa or Panduranga temple at Pandaripuram in Cholapur district, Maharashtra. How Chaitanya Deva is to Bengal, like that Tukaram is to Maharashtra. Sufism in India. Sufism adopted many native Indian concepts such as yogic postures, music, and dance. Sufism found followers among both Muslims and Hindus. The word Sufi takes its origin from Suf, meaning wool. The Sufis wore coarse garments made of wool, and hence they were called Sufis. Sufism was basically Islamic but was influenced by Hindu and Buddhist ideas. It rejected the extracting conduct code of the ulemas. Sufis in medieval India were divided into three major orders. They were Chishti, Suharwadi, and Ferdowsi. Monuddin Chishti made Chishti order popular in India. He died in Ajmer and his resting place is in Ajmer Sharif Dargah in Ajmer, Rajasthan. Nizamuddin Aliya of the Chishti order, who had a large number of followers among the ruling class in Delhi. Poet Amir Khusro was one of its followers. Suharwadi order was founded by an Iran Sufi Abdul Wahid Abu Nasib. The Ferdowsi order was a branch of Suharwadi order and its activity were confined to Bihar. Kabir. As a Muslim, Kabir came under the influence of Varanasi-based Saint Ramananda. He accepted some Hindu ideas and tried to accommodate Hinduism and Islam. Kabir believed that God is one and formless. Even though different religious sects give him different names and forms, he opposed discrimination on the basis of religion, caste, and wealth. He also criticized meaningless rituals. Kabir's poems were composed in Bhojpuri language mixed with Urdu. The Kabis, Granthwali and Baijak contain collections of Kabir's poems. Guru Nanak. Guru Nanak, born in a village near Lahore in 1469, showed interest in religious discussions with other saints right from his early childhood. He visited many holy places and finally settled in Kartarpur near Lahore. He died there in 1539. To mark the 550th birth anniversary of Guru Nanak, a corridor is being constructed by the Indian government that will link the Nanak shrine in Gurudaspur with Gurudwara Darbar Sahib, Kartarpur in Pakistan. Guru Nanak's teachings. Guru Nanak preached that God is without form and wanted his followers to practice meditation upon the name of God for peace and ultimate salvation. He is considered the first Guru by the Sikhs. Guru Nanak had great contempt for Vedic rituals and caste discriminations. The teachings of Guru Nanak formed the basis of Sikhism, a new religious order founded in the late 15th century. His and his successors' teachings are collected in the Guru Granth Sahib, which is a holy book of the Sikhs. Guru Nanak's teachings were spread through the group singing of hymns called Kirtan. The devotees gathered in dharmashalas, which became Gurudwaras in course of time. Guru Nanak nominated his disciple Lekhna to succeed him as the Guru. Following his precedent, the successors are named by the incumbent Sikh Guru. At the time of Guru Gobind Singh, the custom of Pagul was introduced. Those who got baptized became members of a disciplined brotherhood known as Khalsa, meaning the pure. The members were given the title Singh, which means lion. Every member of the Khalsa had to have 5 unique things on his person. These were kesh, uncut hair, kanga, comb, kirban, tragus, kada, steel bangle, and kachira, underpants. After Guru Gobind Singh, the holy book Guru Granth Sahib is considered the Guru and its message is spread by the Khalsa. Impact of the religious or Bhakti movement. Vedic Hinduism was regenerated and thus saved from the onslaught of Islam. Bhakti was a movement of the common people. It used the language of the common people for its devotional literature. Bhakti movement opened up space for Indian languages to grow. What sustained Sanskrit, despite its decline during this period, was the support extended by the rulers of Hindu kingdoms. Tamil was the only ancient Indian language remained vibrant during this period. In the classical period, it had secular literature depicting the everyday life, its joys, sorrows, but under the influence of devotional cults, its emphasis shifted to religion and religious literature. Caste system and social disparities came to be criticized. In this session, we learnt about new religious ideas and movements. Thank you.